you started racing really young. When did you like start to love the sensation of a bit of fear and risk and going racing?
Um, so I mean, I had my dad, kind of like you guys. I'm sure you guys grew up in a racing family. I grew up in a construction family, so they could build anything. And my dad welded a 5 horsepower Briggs and Stratton to just a metal frame that he had put together with his brothers, and put a little cushion for a seat and got a little steering wheel. Like nothing was bought. It was all like welded together of just these whatever pieces. And so I had a little seat belt, little lap belt, and I rolled it. So then they put a roll cage over the top, just one metal kind of thing over from the front to the back, just so if it fell over, I wouldn't, it didn't work right. But yeah, so I mean, that was my whole life was just anything with wheels, anything with fun. And that was, so cars, even though we didn't have the funds to really afford car racing, we didn't really have the funds to afford motorcycles, to be honest, but that was more in our wheelhouse of what we could do.
So was that why you went into motocross initially, because that was more affordable at the time, and then later on when you were successful at that, go into car racing? Or
So to be honest, like my parents didn't ever assume that I'd get anywhere in motorsport or sport. My uncle was quarterback for Denver Broncos, maybe the best athlete that's ever come out of our
wow,
town. And after 2 years and a bunch of concussions, he ended up teaching health classes, teaching lacrosse and football at a local community college, and working with the rest of my dad's family in construction, just small family construction company, driveways, like snow plowing in the winter, that kind of stuff. And he was one of the greatest athletes that ever came out of maybe Maryland, and he still didn't make enough money to not have to do a job till the day he died, pretty much.
yeah,
So my parents said, look, if you love what you do, wake up every morning with a smile, ride that train till the wheels fall off. And we don't care what it is. As long as you get good grades, you do, you work hard. Hey, we'll support you with all we can. And my uncles would all take pay cuts to like pay for gas to get us to the tracks. And, it was cool. It was a good family. Like everyone supported me
fantastic.
and the racing, as families kind of have to do in these sports, or
Yeah,
somebody. It doesn't have to
Incredible.
be family, but it's hard to make it in racing without a lot of seat time, without a lot of time on the dirt bike, on the bicycle, traveling to race against the best
mm,
riders and drivers. And that's what it really comes down to. It's seeing that somebody's better and having a chance to get there. Not to keep talking on this, but we had a local motorcycle organization called MAMA, Middle Atlantic Motocross Association, 18 under riders only. At 7 years old, I was 22nd in the nation. And I was
wow,
8th in my hometown track. So we had almost half of the top 20 riders were from
incredible.
my town in
Oh,
Maryland, which
wow.
was, we just pushed each other.
Yeah, well, that shows you what competition does, doesn't it? Like you were
Yeah.
just out there every day then, like racing with your buddies, and all of your buddies was super fast. And then you ended up becoming the youngest champion in motorcycle AMA. How old were you then when you were champion?
Yeah. So so you can't turn pro in America until you're 16 years old. So I turned pro. I won the outdoor national championship. And then the next year, James Stewart, or 2 years later, James Stewart turned pro, and his birthday was a month later than my birthday. So James Stewart is now the youngest person, but
Ah.
there's only 2 riders that have ever won it at 16 years old. So was able to win. I won Daytona Supercross, won the outdoor national championship, and got to represent the USA in Motocross of Nations. And we won the Motocross of
My
Nations
God.
all while I was 16. So it was and the X Games. It was a good year that year.
Yeah, you have so many X Games medals. Where I got it written down somewhere here, like 17. Yeah, 17
Do you guys
medals.
count like medals or just golds? Like
But
I
that was
don't know.
medals. It says here
I have
11
11. I have
golds.
11 golds.
Yeah,
If
that's
it's second
insane.
or third, I
Majority
don't know.
golds. That's
I don't
a
know
mic
what.
drop. No, that's
Yeah,
epic.
but when did you then like transition from racing to thinking that flying upside down, spinning around? That's cool. How old were you then?
So I had the opportunity. I was trying to race motocross, and I was down at Daytona. I was living in Florida in a trailer park in Florida for the winter, so I could ride with the best. Like Ricky Carmichael was down there, Ernesto Fonseca, Matt Walker, probably all guys that you've maybe heard of or maybe not, but the best amateur riders were in Florida. So in the 6th grade, I started homeschooling. I would basically live down. My mom was a flight attendant, so she would basically try to be there on like 3 days of the week and then work the weekends. My dad would work in the week, and he would, ride his Harley down or fly if she was on a buddy pass down to Florida, when I was 10, 11, 12 years old. And with that, it was pretty funny because I was at a track and all the top racers were training for Daytona. So I got to ride with the Suzuki factory team. I was so excited. And that day, the Krusty Demons of Dirt team came out. Like, I don't know if you've heard of Krusty Demons of Dirt. They were the first moto video. Seth Enslow was there. All the riders that were they were just known for partying. Like, not what my parents wanted me to be a part of, but they were at the track with all the racers, which they wanted me to be a part of. And Seth Enslow, he's this dude known for huge jumps. He tries to jump the alligator pitch. There's a couple alligators in this pond, and they built a jump on the sides, and he doesn't make it. The next guy, Anthony Pocaroba, outdoor moto guy, comes up.
Wait, what happened when he didn't make it? Did he fall into the alligators?
No, he came up short and actually crashed onto the land. But he,
thank God,
ruptured. He couldn't breathe. They had to give him a trach and everything. Like, it was pretty bad. So the next guy tried and he broke his wrist. So they're like, no one else wanted to try. So I was 13 years old. Looked over at my dad. I was like, Dad, can I do it? He looked at me. He's like, I don't know. Can you? And I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, go do it. So I went and I hit the jump, did it a few times. So they're all filming for this video. And the 2 guys that they're filming with for the rest of the week were broken. And I started doing heel clickers, and I'm doing, hands off, feet off.
Wow.
And like the whole Suzuki team kind of stops riding. Like Roger DaCosta, everyone's out there watching me jump this gator pond that none of the factory guys would do. And so at that point, they put me on the video Krusty Demons of Dirt, and it got my start in freestyle because I was crazy. So
and then you ended up completely transforming the freestyle world, right? Like pioneering the kind of jumps that you were able, like any human was able to do, like the double backflip, so iconic. Your clip, like in X Games there, where you run. Who do you run to in the crowd?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Probably my mom.
Was your mom? Yeah. Before the jump, isn't it? Like you go talk to someone. I don't know. It's a while ago since I've seen it, but it's legendary.
No, well, we weren't sure if I was gonna. I wasn't 100% on the double flip, and I was trying to get him. I'm like, can we have any way to get the landing? The landing was just so hard packed, and I had to crank my jump up like 4 extra feet and much steeper than any other jumps. So I'm basically falling from the top of the stadium onto a flat landing for lack of, and I'm like, if I don't land this perfect, if I land it perfect, it's going to suck. If I don't land it perfect. And at the time, it was the only time that rally was where I wanted to go. I'm like, I want to drive cars. I want to get into rally. Ken Block helped get rally into the X Games. We have Colin McRae. The reason that I even started driving Subarus, the reason that I started rallying, the reason that I was like worshipped all WRC drivers and just wanted, the reason I drive for Alpine Star, like all of this was because I wanted to be a rally driver, but I was forced to ride dirt bikes because that's what I was good at the time. But all I watched was rally, like anything that I could find on it. So I'm leading Colin McRae, or I was 6/10 behind Colin after 50 miles. And the only reason was because it was our cars, which were Group N that didn't have a lot of power. And it was Jemba notes. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Jemba notes.
No, what is that?
They hand you a set of notes at the beginning of the rally, and you never get to recce the course. So McRae gets over, and he's on these completely different system than he's ever used. So I was able to win the first couple stages. I mean, Ken Block was there, Tanner Faust, like there was some drivers, but it took Colin a while to get going. It was only 50 miles. So he overtook me 2 stages from the end, but the last stage was super twisty, which is like, it was like a motocross track. So it was just, so I was able to like kind of stay close. So 0.6 of a second between Colin McRae and I going into the final. And I have now, they take the rally course and they say, okay, we're going to do the rally, the super special stage last. And we're going to divide the time by 3. So I was whatever 2/10 behind Colin McRae as per the time. There's all, America rules. So trying to make it as close as possible. So I had 2/10 behind Colin McRae. Yeah, 2/10-ish. Going in the final stage. And that was after I had to do freestyle motocross and best trick. So all the Subaru teams like, don't do it. And I look up in the stands and Colin McRae's there. I'm like, dude, I have to do it. Like I have to do a double backflip because Colin McRae is watching this. I was so pumped. So I'm sitting third and I'm like, well, that's a medal. But like I said earlier, I'm like, well, who remembers bronze medals? Like, I don't know. Like I know I can do this. So I did the double backflip, landed it, and then went on. Colin rolls it in the last turn, right back to the wheels, right into first. So I win. Colin gets second in rally. And then I won freestyle that year as well. And
what
like that
unbelievable year.
Catapulted. Yeah, it was, you guys probably don't have Sports Center over there, but like it was headlines all the way over. And it got me a start to do what I love to do in rally and legitimized, even though it wasn't, to say you beat Colin McRae is not accurate. Colin came to our note system, came to our cars, came to whatever. But the fact that he was in that race, the block was in that race, that Faust was in that race, like they were like, oh, this kid, he doesn't suck.
Yeah.
So it was good.
No, they were legends. Like what a story.